Good day, boys and girls. My name is John Darragh. Today you are going to meet my mother, Lydia Darragh, who belonged to a religious group called the Society of Friends. You may know them today as the Quakers. The Quaker faith holds peace as the greatest aim of man. They don't believe that war can ever be an answer to man's problems. But sometimes personal beliefs can get mixed up with a good cause, as Lydia discovered during the American Revolution. She used to spy on the British. I was only a young lad then, but my older brother Charles served on General Washington's staff. Mother used to sew coded messages into my buttons, and I would take them to Charles. This worked quite well, except for just this one time. Let's go back to that time. It's December 2nd, 1777. Let's watch and see what my mother is doing.
Hear ye! General Washington defeated at Germantown. Congress flees Philadelphia to York. British continue 2-month occupation of city. Hear ye! Friend Darragh, what are you doing here? With Philadelphia in British hands, it's not safe. Many have already fled the city, even our newspapers. The Gazette and the Packet have moved themselves to York and Lancaster. You and your family should leave while you can for your own safety. Hear ye! General Washington defeated at Germantown. Congress flees Philadelphia to York. British continue 2-month occupation of city. Hear ye!
He speaks the truth. It's the Ledger we must read now, a traitor's newspaper. Shops abandoned by patriots are now run by those very same traitors. Deserters, refugees, opportunists of all descriptions. Why, the city is overrun with strangers who seek to exploit the patriots' misfortune. And there are even some among them who would melt our precious Liberty Bell for cannon. Well, it now rests hidden in Allentown, away from British mischief. But I must think of my husband William and my son John. He's only 14. Thank heavens we were able to send our young daughters to stay with my sister in the country where I know they'll be safe. But now I must return home and see what William is about.
Since September of this year, we have been living in a city occupied by a foreign power, England. Our affairs are run by a military commander, General Howe, and there are British soldiers on every corner. Imagine that, on these very shores. And to make matters worse, there are many in Philadelphia who sympathize with the British. These traitors to the cause of American liberty exploit us patriots at all turns. It feels as though we're living in an enemy camp, surrounded on all sides.
Well, we might as well be living in an enemy camp. General Howe's using the Cadwallader's house across the street as British headquarters, and sometimes the British use our own rooms as well. We're practically surrounded.
It's lucky for us that the officers do use our house, Lydia. We've learned much from their meetings, valuable information that we have passed on to General Washington at his encampment at Whitemarsh.
And it was all your clever idea, husband, to write the messages in code and sew them into John's coat buttons. Who would suspect a boy of 14?
No one suspects us at all. To the British, we are peace-loving Quakers who have no interest in war, this one or any other. They have no idea how closely we follow General Washington's campaigns, or how deeply loyal we are to the Patriot cause. Why, they have no idea that our son Charles even serves on General Washington's staff.
Oh, I'll get it. Oh, good day, Captain Andre. Please come in.
Thank you. I wish to speak to your husband, Mrs. Darragh.
You'll find him in the parlor, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Darragh.
Good afternoon, Captain Andre. How can I help you?
General Howe, a group of officers and I will need your front room for an emergency war council. Please make certain that your family is safely abed and asleep by the time we meet at 8 o'clock tonight.
Certainly, Captain Andre. I will advise my wife of the same. Until this evening, then.
Thank you, and good day, Mr. Darragh.
Good day, Captain Andre. William, what did Andre want?
Andre wants to use our house tonight for a meeting. It seems as if they are holding more councils now than ever. I wonder if they have discovered the location of General Washington's camp.
Oh, William, I hope not. Our son Charles is there. What if some harm befell him?
I'm sure Charles will be perfectly safe. He knows how to take care of himself.
You say thus, William. You say thus.
There, Lydia. There.
Yes, I'm coming. Yes, please wait, I'm coming. Please come in, Captain Andre.
Thank you. I do not know how long we will be tonight, but when we are finished, I will wake you to cover the fire and lock the door behind us. This way, gentlemen.
Boys and girls, should I listen? Should I? I'm going to. And I'll take the information that I hear tonight and sew it into my son John's coat buttons. Then he can carry it to his brother Charles at the Whitemarsh camp.
Be careful, Lydia. They must never know that you are eavesdropping on their war council.
I will take every precaution, dear husband. You can be certain of it.
Captain Andre, you will make the necessary... No one is to breathe a word. This concludes the council for the evening, officers. You are dismissed. Good night.
Mrs. Darragh, we finished for the evening. You may lock the house. Mrs. Darragh, we finished for the evening. Mrs. Darragh, we finished for the evening. Please see to the fire and lock the door. Why, I'll shout myself hoarse trying to wake that woman. These stubborn American patriots, rather like children, wouldn't you say? No idea at all what's best for them, or how lucky they are to be part of the British Empire, greatest in the world. Now they've taken up arms against us. And why would they do such a thing, you ask? Religious reasons? Or differences in political philosophy? No, because of taxes. The 7 Years' War that we fought against the French and the Indians was deuced expensive. Now it must be paid for. I wager that most colonists sleep sounder in their beds, not fearing an Indian attack. And would they be happy if a frog-eating Frenchman were their monarch? No, it was on behalf of the colonies that Britain fought the French and Indian War, and it's only right that the colonies should help pay for its expenses. After all, fair's fair, isn't it? Oh, deuce take it, confound that woman. Instead of rattling on like this, I must wake her to close the house. Mrs. Darragh! Mrs. Darragh! Mrs. Darragh!
Yes, Captain Andre.
But we finished for the evening. Please see to the fire and lock the door. Good night.
I can scarcely believe what I just heard at the War Council. Oh, it's vital that General Washington be informed of the British Army's plans. I cannot risk my son John's safety in carrying this message in his coat buttons. I must do it myself. The very future of the Continental Army could be in jeopardy. I can tell no one except an American officer of what I've heard tonight. I must leave their slide tomorrow.
My wife proposes to take the information she heard last night at the War Council to General Washington himself. But his camp is 19 miles distant. 2 days' hard journey in the best of weather. The temperature has dropped overnight, and the sky is heavy with more snow. To undertake such a journey now is to court certain death. And if one does not meet death at the hands of nature, the traveler must keep alert for British soldiers roaming the countryside. Now that winter is upon us in earnest, they are increasingly desperate to maintain supply lines into the city for food and forage for their horses. They are worse than a plague of locusts for the farmers, stripping their barns and silos bare. Lydia, Whitemarsh is 19 miles away. I beg you, please tell me the message you are taking to General Washington. Is it really worth such a trip in this weather?
No, William. I cannot tell you the message. It's too dangerous. Better that you say honestly that I have gone to the millers at Frankfurt for flour and then to visit our daughters in the country. With any luck, I will meet with an American officer along the route who will be able to carry my message to General Washington. There will be no need to go as far as Whitemarsh then.
Very well. I will do what you ask. But can the message wait? Even Frankfurt is a long way, and it is very cold, and the snow is deep.
No, William. The message must be delivered at once, no matter the distance or the weather. Even now, it may be already too late.
Godspeed on your journey. It was Washington's resolve at the Battle of Germantown that gives Lydia and all of us hope and determination. The battle may have been an American defeat, but it served to boost morale and confidence among soldiers and citizens alike. The loss was the result of bad luck and poor timing, and one can only marvel at Washington's bravery. Philadelphia had already fallen to the British, but he didn't hesitate a moment to bring an attack against them.
How far it seems Timor Landis is today. It's not just the sack that weighs me down. It's me worries about the safety of General Washington's army and my dear son Charles, who serves with him. At times it seems as though the Patriot cause may be lost, and with it all our hopes and dreams for independence. Oh no, more snow. But I can see the mill in the distance. I've made it. I've made it.
Is that you, friend Darragh? Indeed it is you. Please, come in. Come in and warm yourself by the fire. Be careful, the light is weak. One more step. Why are you ever out in this foul weather, friend Darragh? Certainly not to buy flour.
Miller Landis, I may not reveal to you the true purpose of my errand, but you must believe me when I tell you that it is of the utmost importance that I am here.
You are not the only one about, dear friend. British regulars are afoot in search of food. Mrs. Darragh, the British pay the farmers in gold. Gold, Mrs. Darragh! Not worthless paper money like the colonists. But it's a dangerous business for the farmers if they are caught taking British gold. They are aiding and abetting the enemy.
Why would they do such a thing? Betray their own country?
Why, the farmers are as hungry and cold as the rest of us, and some are desperate for cash to support their families. And sad to say, they're willing to turn traitor to do it.
Conditions in the city are terrible too. We're all suffering as inflation rages out of control, but most especially the poor. Why, an egg is a luxury item for them nowadays. And me husband told me that the British burned 20 families out of their homes because they suspected them of sheltering patriots. Can you imagine?
This must stop. At Whitemarsh, under General Washington, there are 15,000 men, regular army and militia. Congress means to stop British forays into the countryside for food, and to prevent any attack toward York, where Congress now meets. Lancaster and Reading, too, need protection as they are supplying the Continental Army here. From Whitemarsh, General Washington can keep a close eye on the British while they occupy Philadelphia.
Dear sir, it is about that matter that I make today's journey. I have information that for your own safety I cannot share with you. The news I have just heard with my own ears must reach General Washington for the safety of all of us.
You surely do not intend to walk to Whitemarsh. It is not possible in the snow. You are tempting death, friend Darragh. You have a family to think of. If weather be not your demise, surely capture as a spy will. Spies are hanged, or worse, dragged alive from behind a horse through the streets of Philadelphia.
Yes, I have seen such, but I put my faith in God. He is with me and our cause. Thank you for providing me with rest and warmth so I can continue my journey, Mr. Landis. I'll leave my sack by the door and return to collect my flour.
Lydia Darragh is a woman of great purpose and bravery. I have heard that she and her husband William are part of Washington's network of spies. Perhaps her peace-loving Quaker faith deceives the enemy. In spite of it, she's taken a side of freedom and independence. We here in America have the God-given right to enjoy the privileges bestowed on all Englishmen. We fought side by side with the British to defeat the French in the 7 Years' War, and our reward was punishingly heavy taxes. Taxes on paper, on glass, and even on tea. Yet we were not allowed elected representatives in the British Parliament. We had no say at all in our own future. We were treated as children. And we colonists responded with a show of unity that shocked the British, a declaration of independence. We resolved to take our future into our own hands and fight for it. By heaven, once and for all, we shall rid ourselves of taxation without representation, the most infamous tyranny known to mankind.
Timothy Landis, what are you going on about? Who are you talking to? You better get back to work if you know what's good for you.
Yes, wife.
I was hoping to meet some of the Continental Army officers along the road, for I know they often dine at the Rising Sun Tavern nearby. Perhaps the cold has kept them away. And the snow, too. Oh, it's so cold. My boots are soaked through and I'm chilled to the bone. But this message must reach General Washington. I hope I see an army officer. Otherwise, I'll walk all the way to Whitemarsh and personally deliver the message.
Father and I went down to town along with Captain Gordon. There we saw the men as boys as thick as hasty. Everybody, Yankee-Doodle, keep it up, Yankee-Doodle dandy. Find the music, whoa, Hercules, whoa there, boy. There's a woman ahead of us in the road. I don't want to run her down. I believe I know this woman. Her son Charles serves in the Continental Army. May I ask if you are the mother of Charles, who serves with the 2nd Pennsylvania Regiment?
Yes, I be that person. And you, sir, you look familiar to me as well. Colonel
Darragh!
What are you doing abroad in such terrible weather? Why, you'll die from the cold and snow.
I am in fact abroad in search of someone like yourself, sir. So I'm in...
When did we last meet? Was it at the delicious oyster supper at the Cadwalders in September?
Oh, Colonel, please. I'm looking for someone who...
They say one should never eat oysters in a month with an R in them. Well, no matter. Fine hosts, the Cadwalders. Many a good meal I've enjoyed with them. I've heard their house is being used as British headquarters. Oh, pity.
Please, listen. I have a message of great importance for General Washington.
I'm afraid I don't understand, madam. What sort of message could you possibly have for the general?
He doesn't know I'm a spy.
There, I can see you're cold and upset. Oh, they serve a very tasty venison stew at the tavern. Oh, let me escort you there, and we'll both warm up. Perhaps a glass of mulled wine as well.
Colonel Craig, the family and I live in the city on 2nd Street, just opposite the British headquarters of the Cadwalders. In fact, the British officers sometimes use our house for council meetings as well. Since we are Quakers, they no doubt think that we have no interest in the Patriot cause.
Oh, that is certainly not the case, as I know well. I am a friend of your son Charles, and no one could possibly doubt his loyalty to our cause.
Well, me husband and I, too, are patriots. William and I had, shall we say, overheard some many interesting bits of information during British councils. And my younger son, John, has carried them sewn in his coat buttons to Charles at Washington.
Yes, I know John as well. Promising lad, he is. Very keen to become a soldier.
Colonel Craig, please forgive me, but I have no time for this idle chit-chat. Last night the British held a council at our house, and their decision may mean life or death for Washington and his men.
Good Lord, madam, why did you not say so immediately?
I have been trying to, sir, I have.
Quickly, tell me what the British have planned.
British Commander General Howe has discovered through his own spies that General Washington is camped with his men at Whitemarsh. Howe hopes to catch Washington unaware when he's out in the open and on the move. Then he can finish off the army.
How does he propose to accomplish this?
Well, I heard an order given for 5,000 men to draw 2 days' rations. They've ordered 13 pieces of cannon, the baggage wagons, and 11 boats on wheels.
This is very serious indeed, Mrs. Darragh. For when is the attack planned?
It's planned for tomorrow, sir. Now you understand me sense of urgency. There is no time to lose, Colonel.
None whatsoever. Mrs. Darragh, I must take my leave and instantly ride with all possible speed to General Washington. He must be informed immediately. The venison at the Rising Sun Tavern will have to wait. Hi-ho, Hercules!
Godspeed, Colonel Craig. Godspeed.
1,000 thanks for the information and for the risk you endured to bring it to us. Goodbye.
Thank heavens that I met Colonel Craig. I know that he will carry my message to General Washington. Now I must return to the Miller Landises to collect me flour from him. Oh, my heart is so much lighter now on this homeward journey that my sack of flour will seem as weightless as air. But I must hurry. It grows dark quickly, and I must be home before nightfall. I know William is anxious over me safety and the outcome of my mission.
Lydia, please continue with the account of the journey. You said yesterday that you met Colonel Craig. What a wonderful coincidence. How did the conversation go with the Colonel?
Well, at first Colonel Craig could talk of nothing but food and wine.
Judging from his waistline, I don't believe the Colonel has missed too many meals in his lifetime.
But I managed to convince him that I was serious. Then the Colonel rode away as quickly as his horse Hercules could take him. I don't know if he was able to get back in camp in time to warn General Washington about the British attack, for we have heard nothing as of yet.
My dearest wife, I should be furious with you for having undertaken such a dangerous journey on your own.
But please understand, William, why it had to be so. Had I told you the nature of the message, harm may have come to you. I love you too much to let you suffer for an act that I committed.
Yes, Lydia. And that is why, although I should be angry with you, I am not. Instead, I am very proud of your bravery.
Oh, that be, I'll get it. Captain Andre, good evening. Please come in.
Good evening, Mrs. Darragh. Thank you.
Welcome, Captain Andre. Please be at home.
This is not a social call, Mr. Darragh. I'm here to ask your wife a question.
Yes, Captain.
Was everyone in the household asleep on the night we held our council?
Yes, sir. The household was asleep on that evening.
Of course, I have no reason to doubt your word, and I well remember how much difficulty I had in rousing you to see the fire and the doors. Only...
Yes, Captain.
It can only help but wonder. The information about the march was known only to the officers who attended the council. One thing is certain. Washington had notice of our coming and was prepared for our attack. Our plan to surprise him came to naught, and we marched back into the city like a parcel of fools.
I'm afraid my husband and I can't help you, Captain Andre. As I told you, the family was safely abed. He doesn't know I'm a spy.
What's that you say?
I said I'm baking a pie and I must attend to it. William, would you help me with this pie?
I know the Darragh's religious faith would never permit them to involve themselves in the war effort, and they certainly were asleep on the night of the meeting. There is simply no explanation. Unless the war